All right. So can you hear me, Bo?
I can hear you now.
Awesome. Okay, so there's a ton of stuff going on. First of all, I apologize to a ton of different people who I'm supposed to call, and but I've been traveling. We had a little bit of a family emergency over the last couple of days, so I was out of state for a bit. So apologize for that. But I will get back to everybody who sent emails and who has reached out and so forth, and we will get back to business here. So lots of good stuff going on. We have of course the contest for the Trillion Satama, which goes to the affiliate that sells the most over the next 30 days, and that's being promoted by a couple of different people who have, of course, we have a lot of interest from our club and from Satama's club back and forth. So, or Satama's,
Base.
base, yeah, I guess is what you would call it, right? So, um, but and so that's why it's being kind of cross promoted, and of course, with the goal of having people, realize how fun it is over here, and join our club, and for the benefit of both, and so forth and so on. However, it has been pointed out, probably rightfully so, that sometimes a contest where people have to go and work to drive sales is not the most not the most fun version of a contest or a giveaway, and maybe it won't drive the type of traffic and the type of response that we really need, which is to hit our targets of taking AWRT and some of our native tokens and the tokens on our own exchange, up over 1,000 and then up over 10,000 holders. So, we have these short-term and then long-term goals. The 1,000 is going to be a pretty easy one to hit, of course, but once we get into the tens of thousands, it's something different. So, I think I agree with that, and so we're going to be adding a lot of different contests that are kind of different. Like if you can enter to, for example, Shadow Fighter, which should be up here by the end of the week, so we'll be able to have people compete in some of that gaming. And what was the other thing? I think we have GiveBucks, some of our partners like GiveBucks, Ken's building out a potential tournament as well, and we're gauging interest in that. Though, what's that one?
Yeah, so he's putting together a Grand Theft Auto tournament, I believe, over the weekend. That is going to be very AWB centric. So and there's going to be cash and crypto prizes and other things, and so we'll have different contests. Some are who can jump their car the furthest, who can drive backwards, and that kind of thing. And then we're even considering hiding a white rabbit of spades in the mix. So I think that'll be and that will come with its own set of prizes. So it'll be kind of something that you'll have to find in the environment while you're playing some of these other games. So just a way to connect more with the gaming community and get more involved, from gaming, but also Metasphere development. So that's important to the club as we go forward.
Yeah, I think that, again, I mean, the metaverse stuff, what we're building in metaverse, again, like, so we have these games and we're building things out in some of the stuff that I know a lot of people from our venture cap side don't really get. I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had this week about, like, listen, I just don't understand why an NFT would sell at Christie's for $24 million. I just don't get it. Like, what the heck? And why are you doing it? And like, so let me back up, just so everybody kind of understands. The club itself it's venture cap meets crypto lifestyle, right? So the whole concept here is to bridge that gap so that people can experience the upside. And there's a tremendous amount of upside on the NFT side of things here and in the metaverse side of things. And in reality, metaverse is, even though it appears as games and people are playing and there's competitions and so forth, and some of the coolest stuff that we're involved with, from Neo Tokyo and Wilder World and Sandbox and stuff like that, are all game based. But when you get into Overland, which is another deal that we're invested in, then you get into mixed and AR reality, and you get into real business use case, and all this stuff is being tested to be able to be applied to different business functions, and really augment a lot of the projects that we're involved with and so forth. So we're not we're not straying from our roots, which is really VC, and that's that remains the cornerstone of the club. Owning AWB, of course, will get you the interest in those new launches and the different things that we are directly invested in, and that's really, that is the cornerstone, right? Is giving you the upside and real underlying businesses that that happen to have tokens as a utility. That's the point. So I think don't get distracted. The games are a test case, but we are building our own metaverse, and we are testing along with everybody else out there, what the limits are, and what the upside is of all of this stuff. So that, yeah.
The truth is, if we're not in the metaverse, we're going to be behind.
Exactly.
Going forward. I mean, I was just on a call. I don't know, AQ, if you're on, but that one of our members had set up that the stuff that some people are doing in AR and VR will literally put another wrinkle in your brain. It's that kind of cutting edge, and where that's going to lead to from a finance and opportunity perspective, there's no doubt in my mind is the future of finance and entertainment and so many other things, commerce, you name it.
Communication, telecom, everything. It's just what already exists that just hasn't been released is mind blowing. That you just haven't seen it commercialized yet. It's just mind blowing. So, so we're in the right place, right? And it does actually apply to the business use case. Like I said, it does actually apply to the real world work that we're doing. Like one of the new rewards that you'll get for holding AWB is HQ Express, right? And that's a industrial flex space version of WeWork, which is geolocated, uses Overland as a platform, and it's very, very cool, right? But it is also cutting edge. So this we'll explain more about that as it's going to be released here shortly. So for all of you who who are holding AWB, we've got some great stuff coming up, and that's one of the things that I just wanted to touch base and just make sure that people didn't, because I know a lot of our members are like, wait a minute, like, are we just focused on games now, or what are we doing? No, we're not. But AWRT, and the reason you've heard a lot about it over the last couple of weeks is because AWRT is the juice that powers that whole metaverse and gaming aspect of what we are invested in and what we are building. So AWRT being launched into other exchanges like Amirex and so forth, and now all the work that we're doing on that front is all about being able to spend that in those metaverse environments. So and get it as a reward, get it as as the payment for staking NFTs and so forth. So there's a ton of different assets coming to our various exchanges that involve that, and pairing and so forth, and you'll see all that come out shortly. But that's why we've been focused on it so much, is just because it's the real use case and utility of AWRT as we move forward here. So that's that's the rewards and what you can what you can expect, in a lot of different competitions and so forth. And it's supposed to be, as we move forward here, one of the most liquid, assets of the club. So, or one of the most, and have a large amount of utility, right? Whereas AWB is something that you probably don't want to just go out and flip back and forth. Um, we certainly, and when we're just building, of course, liquidity isn't great yet. But AWRT is something where I think people can be in and out of, and be happy to win more, and risk some and wager it, and it's really kind of it's really just kind of the gas of everything that we're doing, right? Whereas AWB is that other leg where if you want pieces of the future like HQ Express, and you want to get the 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 cubes and the and so forth, and everything that spins off of that, then then you hold AWB, so you get that 2,000 to 1 drop into your wallet, so that you can see what happens in the future and what's being built there, right? Because that's what those rewards are about. They're about that that type of dividend, where for every 1 AWB that you're holding, you're getting 2,000 of the new deal.
Mhm.
And we're going to stick with that math moving forward, unless something massive happens. Usually when you get a reward for holding AWB, you're going to get it, and it's usually going to be that math. So anyway, I just wanted to touch
Which
base.
is roughly like a 20% reward, on
Well,
paper.
absolutely, and that's the target, right? As we do these deals, as we roll out a new deal on a monthly basis or so, give or take, but anywhere from 30 to 60 days. We want that to be roughly about a 20% hit or upside for you. So anyway, so that was just kind of a 50,000 foot level rehash of what everybody already knows, who's on this call, I'm sure. And now we can kind of get into some of the questions and stuff.
Well, the next thing I'm sure nobody wants to know about, nobody's tuned in for, is the Trillion Saitama. I'm sure nobody's curious about that.
So that was it, and that was what that tirade was about, or a rant, as my youngest son would say. Oh, you're going to be on one of your rants, so that's what he calls these calls. Anyway, the 1 trillion Saitama contest, of course, our affiliates who have already earned hundreds of thousands of dollars, over since we started, they're all very well positioned to be able to take down that that award. So I would think that those people would be interested, and of course anybody new should be signing up as an affiliate, getting your link, putting it on social media, referring people over to buy some AWRT, buy some AWB, buy some NFTs, because you never know. I mean, you have an uncle who's interested in, or friend that you just referred over, and hey, it just happens they're looking for um, monthly income or whatever. We've got products that that fit all kinds of different interests. So you never know, you can win, and and hopefully everybody participates. But like I said, the rest of the, a lot of people have said, people don't want, they want something easier that they can win. So we're going to have a whole lot of other competitions. We're going to be doing some stuff for the people who did the swap for AWRT to new AWRT, and people who sent that stuff to the Burn wallet. When we get ranked for your new NFT, your founder's AWRT NFT, then that those rankings are going to be real important as you use them to get on whitelists and prepare for new drops, and to get in line for basically new assets that'll be distributed and so forth, new opportunities.
And I'm told only about
important, and then
70
also,
people. I'm told only about 70 people have done
I
that.
couldn't hear you.
Oh, can you guys hear
Yeah,
me?
probably. Yeah, you were breaking up. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm told only about 70 people have done that so far. So if you haven't, If somebody could throw in the chat the link as to where to send that, just makes our everything else just smoother. If we do it that way.
Yeah. So and not only will you get the NFT, the founders key that's going to rank your holding of AWRT. So you'll get, like, if you're the largest holder of AWRT, then you wind up with founders badge number 1. Right, you're as it goes out all the way to 250, and that's it. That's all there's ever going to be, and that's going to give you priority in whitelists for AWRT projects and NFT projects, for drops and new mints, and there's going to be a lot of that opportunity because don't forget, I mean, we have the NFT producer credit for the performance, for example, in movie, and we plan to put together special opportunities for people to the premiere, get other opportunities, for unique art and some of the film, unique film opportunities there surrounding the rollout of that picture. So and it's going to be really exciting, and it's a really artistic topic, with serious overtones, to it, and I think it's just going to be a film. So we're going to be doing a whole lot more of that. So you're going to want this stuff because it's on that white list is going to be something that's like, wow, I just got this set that I was, one you another you could sell, you do a million different things to put yourself in a position to enjoy the crypto lifestyle and earn with us, because the club's about that. So as you sign up as an affiliate to drive to drive the sales to hopefully win that trillion Satama, you also get 10% of everything that the people who follow your link buy. So you get paid, and we pay that in USDT. So there's really no reason why you wouldn't want to do this deal. But like I said, a lot of our members have said no. Like you'll get a whole lot more if you do. You do it a couple different ways, and we have some other ideas that we're going to be rolling out. So we'll be announcing other contests and other ways to win a whole lot more Satama, AWRT, some AWB combined with GiveBucks, and we're going to be doing more pairings, and more NFT stuff as well. So the staking is, the back end of the staking, is being completed. Of course, everything that we're doing is in beta because we let you test it real time. So that stuff is upgrading as we go here. It's just going to get better and better. So now we've got ways for you to stake your AWB, so you're not just sitting there waiting for for the next dividend or the next reward. You're instead earning, while you're going, and you can do that with. I think we can do that with every single one of our club tokens now, right? I don't know.
That's my understanding, but yeah, we probably ought to clarify that.
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, so so you can earn more as you go, and then of course we've got the captains.
Yes, we can is the clarification.
Yeah, good. And so the other side of that is we've got the captain's NFT where you can actually earn USDT on a monthly basis. So for people who are looking for income generators, USDT is pegged to the dollar, and it's pretty much pretty stable. So it's a good way to plan, for monthly income. Anyway, so we've got all that stuff going on, and that's all great. Also, everybody who is sending old AWRT into the Burn wallet will be, not only will you get that, will it help you with your positioning for the AWRT founders badge, right? It's also going to put you in line for giveaways, which we will be announcing this week. So everybody's going to be compensated for the ETH that they spent, basically, in one way, shape, or form, in some type of distribution into their exchange wallets. So we'll be announcing all that fun stuff as well as we go here. So we've got a lot of stuff planned, and you're going to want that stuff in your burn wallet. So or in our burn wallet. So go ahead and send in the old AWRT. The other thing is that people should understand too is that um, the more people who do that, wind up being listed on our Etherscan as holders and so forth. And so our target here is to have all that stuff pushed through here for the end of the week. With added to what's listed on our exchange, we should be showing over 500 holders at that time, so that getting to our 1,000 here in short order should be easy for that little target, and then we're really going to hit the gas. So so it's pretty exciting times, and there's a lot of contests and awards, rewards coming, for everybody too who participate and all that. We're just working through all of it, and we'll be announcing it.
Well, the table games too, right? I mean, should be coming up here, and then that'll be a whole different series instead of gamers, but same end game for the club.
Correct. Yeah. So that's coming soon. Shadow Fighters coming, so we'll have some contests. People can fight each other. Yeah, exactly. So
controlled environment.
yeah. So all that's coming. I mean, I think that's and it's in the next couple days. So we'll have all that hooked up, and we've got some guys who really want to help with running those poker tournaments, peer to peer, all that peer to peer stuff. So we're getting ready for all that. Do we have any particular questions? Or
yeah. Tonight is a question night. Is the $10 a month friends and family special still active, or does it need to be updated?
No, it needs to be updated if it's on there. So we need to take this down. So
the answer to that is no, and we're going to take that down. All right. So can we add
so everybody knows it's free, right? So we have a free section and we have the VIP section. So if you want the rewards and all that type of early access and kind of deeper access to the club offerings, then you want to be VIP. But for now, if all you want to do is come and buy stuff on the NFT exchange, or you want to mint something there, you want to go to our exchange and trade crypto, then you're welcome to do it. And you can do that for free. And we have new pairings coming out Sunday to Monday for some new issuances and things like that too. So the exchange is growing.
This actually came in pre AMA, but KG, I know you'd reached out on updating the functionality in Discord and maybe laying out some rules, and I think that goes along, Khan, with your question about having a hashtag shilling channel where people can discuss other links or outside things, so we don't clutter up our Discord channel. The whole point of our Discord channel is the Active World Club, so other deals, we'll go other places. But let's touch base on the other, because we looked into some of the things that Sandbox is doing in Discord, and they're using it, probably more efficiently than we are. Almost as like go to office or something, where other people can work on other projects, in unison. So we are looking into that.
Yeah, Jimmy said that over at Neo Tokyo, because of the characters that we have there, or citizens, and the all the the assets that we have, we are able to get into like the top tiers of discussion boards and Discord and so forth. So, and different parts of the Discord, but Jimmy had pointed out that it's used over there really like a business, office. It's like, there's a lot of different, subgroups, and a lot of things where people break out for, for creative purposes. And so some people might be working on contests, and some people might be researching, and some people might be working on new drops and stuff like that, or contributing in some way, shape, or form. And I really like that concept. So we talked about that for a long time this week, about how to do that and upgrading external servers and so forth to be able to do that build. So on top of that, we're we are going to be building that out for Telegram as well. So there's a server that is going to go out for AWRT for that, and and then of course we've got as we bring these things out, we've got to have different things for just our individual tokens too. So we're figuring out, it's a big roadmap, right? We've got a lot of assets, we've got a lot of things we're interested in, and we have to figure out the best touch point or entry point, and then let people break out into their own areas of interest. And I think that makes a ton of sense. So that's being worked on as we speak. And the other thing that we're doing is upgrading the club site as far as the public facing features of it, so that it matches kind of the look and feel of the AWRT experience and so forth, so that we have kind of continuity across our brands. So that's a huge thing, and we'll be announcing the addition of to the teams that are going to be doing that and so forth. And so it's a very exciting time for the club, because we're adding resources and talent, and we're adding talent all over the place. And we've got developers doing stuff for metaverse builds, clubhouse builds. We've got what else is going on, Bo? There's a ton of stuff happening, right?
There is a ton of stuff happening. The metaverse builds, I think we should be able to announce on this week, I think are going to blow people's minds. They blow my mind. I'll say that. I don't want to speak for other people. Just to jump on a question here, Melon Swag. Not sure what emphasis to put on what syllable there, but my friend sent an email 2 days ago about swapping AWRT. Hasn't gotten a reply. Is it because they're requesting it go to a different wallet? It sounds like maybe they want to go to the exchange wallet.
Well, try to keep the questions broad so that it interests everybody for us. But like that, I mean, this AWRT swap is like an important topic. So I think if you have technical issues, just hit .net, and if you don't get a response because we're away or somebody's busy and it takes a day, it shouldn't take a day. They're really pretty quick. So that means it fell through the cracks. Just have them email again, or copy .com. And that's another thing. There's going to be a couple other additional emails that are added, so that people, if they can't get through one way, they can get through another. Because really, the .net side is focused on the back office build outs, some of the stuff that's being built on the NFT exchange and the actual, coding, from that perspective. So we're going to be delineating all of the, kind of responsibilities, so that it makes it a little clearer, if you have, particular transfer questions or exchange questions or things like that. So we'll do that. But for now, the AWRT side of things, just shoot that question over to .net, and you should get a response.
All right. Can you go through the process of building liquidity on the exchange for AWB and AWRT? Curious to know why it takes as much time, etc.
Well, why it takes so much time. So there's two sides to liquidity, right? There's the biggest problem that we have really is sellers, right? So that's why there's a lot of battles that go on, and people are like, we don't want sellers, and, you got to hold and so forth. But in order to make a market work, you need both sides of the transaction, right? So, it's not always good to have people hit bids. In other words, if it's the lowest, price point that somebody's willing to pay for something, it's not always good to just exhaust all of that and just slam the bid side, right? But the other side of that is the ask, and that's where someone's willing to sell, right? And so if you have a limit order in on Pro Trade, so here's the thing: if you go in on Quick Trade and nobody is there, we have this problem on Satama, because Satama is so low, and we have it paired with AWRT, but nobody wants to sell Satama, including us, right? So if somebody goes in for a Quick Trade, to say, oh yeah, I want to swap, for Satama right now. It's just no, because it's at it's at 2 right now, right? So we're not in the market to unload it. We're actually buying, so that's a whole other story. So you have to have both sides of it to work, and we're adding that liquidity on a daily basis. We're adding the potential interested traders on a daily basis. So we've got big, kind of 8-figure people that we're bringing over, all the time to trade here, because we're giving them opportunities, one, on our issuances, that come out on a monthly basis, that they want to, because they're investors, they want to get in on ground floor opportunities. They want to see things like liquidation opportunities, from people, other companies that are giving us blocks or things along those lines, right? So there's ways for us to incentivize big players to be involved, but it takes time, and then they have to be interested in that, right? And then they have to own both sides of the transaction, or they might want to buy some and be on both sides of the bid and the ask, and make the market. It's a complicated process. I know it sounds, like, well, why isn't there liquidity? One, because it's truly making a market. So you have to make a market for those individual assets.
Well,
But we're doing it on
learning
a
how to
daily
trade
basis.
is a different thing too. I mean, you can always put an offer between the bid and the offer to tighten that spread. And I don't know how deep we want to get into a trading class right now, but
Well, what I can tell you is, and we should, we should do that. I mean, we should do an hour on how to use the exchange, and and then maybe people can understand that. So why don't you put that on the agenda, Bo? Like, we'll pick, a half hour, 45 minutes to talk about trading,
sure.
and we can go over the exchange, and maybe we can do a share screen, some type of tech with a share screen or something where we can let everybody see it. Right. I don't know what tech we have that could do that. I don't want to have to do it on Zoom.
We
Right.
can do it on Zoom, but I mean, there's ways of doing it. We can take care of that. I'm not worried about that part of it. But I think we can definitely do something that may do the whole community a little bit of a. For those who know, maybe it's a refresher. For those who don't, it's just a dynamics of trade.
We,
You don't have to take either offer, right? You can go up on the bid, you could raise the bid, or you can lower the offer, and go in between, and there's all sorts of
well,
advantages
so
to doing that.
yeah,
For,
so here's the thing. Like, our exchange is actually really cool. It's a really, the functionality for the limit orders. The charting. It actually is pretty intuitive. And one of the things that's happening overnight, I don't know if it's overnight tonight or overnight tomorrow, but the upgrades for the P&Ls and all that stuff is happening when that's at a period of time when they have to, I don't know, there's a function that they do for the upgrade. But all that's happening. And so the exchange is actually even getting better. And that's going to be something that helps everybody, and it also helps liquidity. So the more functions that we add to it, the more really professional traders that are interested in being there. So if you go to Quick Trade and you don't get any response, you get an error. That means that there probably isn't the opposite side of the trade isn't available. So go ahead to Pro Trade and set your limit order at some price point that it's accepted, and then it'll sit there and eventually be taken out, when the interested parties at that price point come in. So
yeah.
you can do that. The other side of that is explore the auction, and you can, like, let's say you got like a big block. You can explore the auction. You could talk to each other, and you can kind of say, look, I got a block that I want to move, or I got, um, you know, so in other words, like, there's a lot of different tools, and then the other side of that is what we're doing with staking. So if you're holding something, you can always stake it, and at least earn while you're waiting for sales and things of that nature. So.
All right. So community chat question. Thank you, Khan, for throwing this over. Does anyone know if AWRT will be on the SATA mask next round? So,
So we would be game for that. We haven't had direct discussion to lock anything like that down, but for sure that's something that we'd be interested in. We're talking to another group too with another project um, that we could get a lot of benefit out of. They've got things like DAO. They've got so as we move our club forward as a club in general, the whole concept here is decentralization and to really get this out into and build the structure around this into democratization and decentralization, right? So that we can all participate in these decisions as a community. And we've found some really cool, like newer side, projects that provide that, and it also provides some, some of the security features that everybody's interested in, and so forth. So we're looking at that as well, and so yeah, we're talking. It would be interesting, and we're open to it, and we're looking at all those opportunities. So yeah.
Well, part of being in our own development timeline too is one of understanding that developments and launches and things, they take a little bit of time and patience, and so the other part of that is we just want to make sure that we're not getting in their way either, by doing too much at once, right? We're sympathetic to the cause of development timelines and things that come up as you launch things. So, all right. Once the crypto shop is fully functional, will it make things easier to shill and get new affiliates to join the club? The devs are currently working on this. Yeah, okay. That's not a question. When will we be ranked, and will it be constantly be updated when people increase position and size? That's a good question. So we'll be jockeying for position in real time. Like, could you be bumped out of heaven?
Read the question again. What was the?
So when the ranking comes out, when will the ranking come out, and then is it going to be updated in real time? So if somebody is on the bubble at 250 and somebody else comes in and bumps them out, will they no longer be in the club, or is it the first 250 sets the goal and then you can sell that position?
No, we're going to come out. That's absolutely something that's really fun that we're doing, and that's kind of the whole point, right? So we're going to come out with the ranking, and then we're going to let people adjust that, and we are going to make it so that you can watch where you wind up, as you go. So that's something that they're working on right now. And the other side of that is we're going to allow, some of the, first of all,
oh, you've gone robotic.
We want to figure out a mechanism where people.
This is one of these times. I don't know if this is my phone, Alfonso, or if you dropped off.
No, he's breaking up. He's breaking up, Bo.
Okay, thanks, Jed.
You're welcome, sir.
Alfonso, I don't know if you're going to have to stand on top of the hill or the mountain, or.
I'm back. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, the technology. Anyway, so where were we? So I was saying, yes, we're going to try to make that work so that you can see it in real time. That's the net.
All right, fun. All right, so you mentioned buying NFTs. When are we uploading more NFTs to the marketplace? Currently, there's only 2. Also, will there be lower cost NFTs available? A lot of them have a 0.08 ETH floor. That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be, and we're going to be implementing lazy minting, as well. And I'm hoping that works for our individual creators, like the club too, like for you guys to be able to go in there and mint, like put your art up or put your concept up, and not have to pay until it sells. So we're working on that technology right now. So even though this is just rolled out, there are other pieces of this tech that are being worked on, all the time. So that's coming. We've got a couple other pieces coming, like being able to swap in and out of OpenSea and stuff like that, or transfer from OpenSea over. There's a lot of functions that we're adding as we go here, and it is going to be it's going to get cheaper and better, and there's going to be a whole lot more up there. I think we've got a lot that's going on. Of course, we have.
There seems to be, we're in a millennial generation. There seems to be like a race for last place here. There's a lot of people commenting how they know they're going to be in last place. So I think that this is the peach generation.
Well, there's no. You mean in last place for the founders side of things? The founders?
Well, it ranked 250th on the list.
Well, don't forget, like when we launched everything, originally it was weighted AWRT, but then we flipped it so that you could weight it AWB because there was so much interest in AWB. So a lot of people are holding our weighted AWB side. Not everybody is weighted on AWRT, and as a matter of fact, some people aren't into the games and the high liquidity stuff. They're just into the venture cap, and so they're heavy into AWB.
Well, the other side of that is that's what makes some. I mean, when you think about what's at stake, really, then in some of those card games and some of the other things, I mean, you really could, if you were good at cards, you could increase your rank pretty dramatically, in a weekend's worth of a Hold'em tournament or something.
No question, and you can do it on the sports book, and you can do it on other things too. I mean, that's the whole point. I want to do it so that you could go in and get a treasure chest NFT, not knowing what's in it, and there could be 100 million AWRT in it, or there could be 100
that
million.
was just an atom bomb of breadcrumbs you just dropped there, like that. Like the treasure chest, I think was something we were saving for a different discussion, and you just dropped it like an atom bomb.
Yeah, sorry, but like, so you buy those and you don't know what's in it, and inside of there is something that's tremendously valuable to you, and it takes you up your rank and so forth and so on. So, and don't forget too, there's this is just the founders level, right? So, and it's going to give you the whitelist capabilities. It's going to allow you to weight your package for different earning and stuff, but there's going to be other things out there too. There's going to be other opportunities, and but one of them is you'll be able. We're actually coming out with an NFT that'll allow you to swap. So people are working on that among club tokens, and I think that's going to be fun too. So like, okay, well, I was weighted AWB. I want to be weighted AWB. I swap this NFT allows me to do it. So there'll be a limited number of kind of magical NFTs that allow you to do different things inside the club, and inside different projects, which I think is going to be fun too. So that's something
like level up NFT.
Yeah, it could be like a level up. Yeah, I mean, sure. So
all right, this question is one I can't wait to put behind us. AWBTE update.
Yeah, there is an update. And I'm gonna explain why we've been waiting. So as you know, we came out with the scrap token, and we had a lot of pushback on AWBTE relative to the price. Everybody said, "Well, it's awesome, but I don't want to pay $460 a token. I love being able to cash out of this, and I love the fact that in gold and in the basket, but I don't really like the fact that it costs so much upfront. I can only afford one, and some people couldn't afford that, but they still wanted to participate because, of course, it's anti-inflationary, and it also gives you a good grounded asset base that's essentially severed from fiat currency, right? So we wanted to come out with something that was cheaper, but still had all the functionality and capabilities of AWBTE. And so we were waiting for the NFT piece to be done so that we could mint different NFT assets to go along inside of pairs, so that you could still buy the token, know that the dollars that you spend are actually keeping things out of the landfill and recycling real weight, but at the same time, not be so onerous when it comes to cost. So what we decided to do is merge in the AWBTE with scrap. So we're adding that conversion function and kind of the backing of the precious metal basket to the scrap token at a different price point. And all that's going to come out here in a formal rundown of the scrap white paper here very shortly, and we'll explain it completely in a blog so that you understand how it'll work. It's still going to be the same valuation of what you bought, and it's still going to convert into metal, into precious metal, the same way. For the people who purchased it, because we're able to compensate them with an NFT that brings them up to a convertible NFT that brings them up to that valuation, in precious metal, and also in the number of scrap tokens. So if that makes sense, I'm sure that just opened up a whole can of questions, but just know that the blog's coming for that.
All right. Twitter page for AWRT. Right now, that's a really interesting question, because right now we have the AWC_AWRT Twitter page. And I don't know if going forward it makes sense for each one of them to have their own, for each token to have its own Twitter page, but at some level it probably does. So
Well, it does. Yeah, it does. And apparently, and so part of what we're doing now, as everybody knows, is verifying everything on Etherscan and upgrading all of the stuff. So everything matters. So that's why we're harping on get your old AWRT into the burn wallet. Get your because that allows us to drop the new AWRT, which increases our holder number. Like I said, we want to be at 500 here. Coming out of the weekend. And that's just what we already know we have, more than 500, right? That'll be up there. And then that improves our security score, which improves our marketability, which goes all the way back to the question that was asked earlier, when is more liquidity coming? All that helps, right? So, and of course we have a big marketing push that's going on. So, that's and being added to over the next few days. So we're trying to put all that stuff together. So we need everybody to kind of row in that same direction. So
Tim, to answer your question, the badge that we placed up there, that's going to be the ranking for for 1 to 250 top holders of AWRT, which is going to put you in line for basically a whitelist for NFT drops and other prizes in the future. So
it's also going to weight other. It's also going to be a weighted kind of asset for you to be able to get in line for different things too. So it's going to give you access to more and when it comes to different tournaments and different giveaways and things like that. So there's a lot of functionality in the founders level, and this is the founders level of AWRT, not the club founders level, but the club's AWRT founders level, because it's based on your ownership of AWRT at the time of the end of that mini competition.
Okay. All right. So to answer an earlier question, we're uploading the deckhand catalog tonight, which is 35 Amiga images. So that's going to be a fairly large dump on the NFT exchange. I'm really looking forward to that. Like I've said so many times, those old games are so clever with some of the things they have, and then of course we're going to be tying that into our own metaverse development and stuff going forward, which I, for one, am very excited to see, how those developments come ahead. Because if it's anything like it's penciling out, it's going to be, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All right. So well, I'm glad this question's evolving. So not just when Uniswap, now it's when third-party exchanges.
Yeah, it's more millennial type of yeah. So that's kind of the whole that's the 1-2 punch, right? So right after we're done with all of this verification stuff and so forth, then we are, because we had to make some changes to the contract. Then we're off to a Mirex, and that'll be the next one. So that's all lined up already, and it's just a matter of probably I would say I would hope to see the Etherscan stuff update overnight, into tomorrow, and then from there, then we will, then we'll be ready for the rest, and we'll do an announcement and let you know what date that'll be or what the target date is there for that, but it's very shortly.
All right, perfect. Well, let me jump into one of the other pages just to see if anybody threw any other questions in there. That's what I've got right now.
So while you're doing that, we do have some really cool builds being done for Velocity, and not only are we going to have the real peer-to-peer car rental, geolocation tracking, capabilities and all of that, but we're also going to have metaverse versions of our own vehicles like the Lambo and Ferrari and so forth that we'll be putting out as an NFT that we're trying to see if we can get to be usable inside of the one of the GTA builds, which I think would be really cool. If not that, then one of the other metaverse games where you can actually drive it. So that's that's I think it'll be really cool.
That answers the oldest question in crypto, right? When Lambo?
When Lambo. Yeah.
When Lambo.
Exactly. So somebody will be able to buy the actual Club Lambo, and drive it around the metaverse. So that's something we're working on, and we have a couple different artists and a couple different developers working on that, as we speak. So some of the competitions, by the way, on the GiveBuck side are driving competitions and stuff inside of GTA, which I think would be fun. So, but lots of questions there. One way or another, there's those cars are definitely going to be NFTs, and versions of them will be available as NFTs that we're going to want to own. So
yeah, and then I know I've been breadcrumbing this, but I think we're getting close, right, on the U.S. housing exchange properties and things that we'll be looking at to do a giveaway. Like I've said on a couple of these, that to me that's the ultimate fire your landlord and your bank if you can win a house free and clear. So we'll be going over some of the rules and regs and some of the things that we got to do for that, but should be able to talk about here that pretty shortly.
Yeah, that's another new when, right? When Houston, right?
Right. When Houston, when Atlanta.
When Atlanta. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. When Hamptons. That's a whole other league, though. I mean,
listen, I sent you that house that my father built 20 years ago that just sold for 118.5 million, a single family home. So we're gonna have to bootstrap really get going here if we're gonna play that game.
Whatever. Beeple sold his Christie's art for what was that, like 38 million?
Yeah,
that was one NFT that doesn't do anything, right?
Well, the other is a single family home. So I know it's 100.5 million. You do get to sleep there, but when Bora Bora? That's actually a really good question because I was looking into some of those South Pacific countries that are like basically becoming crypto havens that that don't look half bad to live in there outside of monsoon season.
Of course, and Puerto Rico, of course, is a wonderful place too with great opportunities.
Yeah,
too.
For earthquakes and hurricanes.
Yeah, except for that. But I don't know about Bora Bora. I don't, I've never been there either, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so okay, so I think the main thing here is we will get this 1 trillion this 1 trillion Satama backed up with probably another trillion giveaway that's going to be a little easier to earn than kind of recruiting grinders, to sell. So there'll be other ways to earn, a big block one way or another, and we're putting that competition together too. So that'll be announced as well, and it'll also be in conjunction with AWRT. And it would be cool if we did it in conjunction with what that other suggestion was, which was to get on Cytomask. Would be kind of a fun way to participate. As like a launch or something. So we'll look into all of that, and we're game. So we'll be back in touch with you guys on the next AMA. We'll see what we can put together.
One of the things that's come up that I want to address, and we've gotten some feedback in both directions on on some of the charitable things that we're doing. We will get more active on on social with that. It was a good suggestion that we should have more of that stuff out there, but when you look at the way the AWRT site is set up, it's just hard to integrate like a very futuristic this is what's happening with gosh, these people don't have enough water. It's hard to tell both those stories at the same time. But we will do probably the club a great service by putting out more of the stuff that we're doing internationally, and the stuff that we're even doing here in the country with some food pantry and whatnot. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think on social media is the right place for that stuff too. So I agree. That's all feedback from the club, and of course we listen to a lot of members all week long, and just great suggestions. So we love all that. Most of what we execute, and a lot of who we talk to, and a lot of the referrals and the deals we do are because our members reach out and say, hey, you got to talk to this guy, or hey, I have an idea. So do that, because we do listen, and and we are again, the whole point here is to decentralize this and democratize it, and and move forward. Now we'll keep doing the VC work. We do that all day too. So, we'll keep bringing those great deals, and, kind of like our expertise, in that upside, and we'll talk, maybe we'll put together some higher level trading, videos, or some type of live or something for people to understand the liquidity side of the market and help with it, and understand the trading for the exchange. But we're also adding talent, as we go. So we're augmenting, what we're capable of doing. And I think if you talk to people on Discord, or you talk to the people in this club, they'll tell you, yeah, I participate, and, I've gotten paid to do this, that, and the next thing. And, because if we have a need, we look inside the club first. So, we're not going out there and hiring, people overseas just because they're cheaper or something. We're looking for people who are vested in our project. And, so if you're a graphic designer, or you're doing NFTs, or you're doing any of that stuff, game design, or you're working for a game company that you think we should do a deal with, we're game to have a conversation, to talk to those guys, to talk to your company, or you about doing this, because we're hiring designers and artists, and and coders all the time. So reach out, let us know, or if you have ideas for competitions, or you saw something that worked out awesome. Like we just looked at a really cool scratch off NFT deal, this week, that was recommended to us. We looked at, there's just really cool stuff out there, that we can't be everywhere and see everything. So, recommend it. And of course, if we do it, there'll be finder's fees involved for you too. So like if you send us like, for example, we're very interested in buying a company that is staffed and building in Unity. A game, gaming companies. We're interested in acquisitions. If you recommend something and we do it, there's a finder's fee involved for you. So another way to earn that trillion Satama too is, is generating generating some type of referral, when it comes to hey, buy this company, or do this deal. So we're
No,
game.
but yeah, absolutely. I mean, the guy who turned us on to the metaverse developer guy that we're dealing with. I mean, that came from inside the club. I mean, so many of the things that have happened have been club referrals, and it's great, because they come sort of at matter of fact. There's another NFT artist that we're talking to right now who's doing a really cool collection that I think, there'll be mutual value. I mean, part of what happens in my observation in OpenSea is you can get lost in an OpenSea, right? I mean, there's millions of people out there all chasing the same, nickel. One of the advantages of our club and our exchange is that, not only are we looking for good artists to have listed, but we'll help promote them. Right. I
Yeah.
mean, it's in everybody's best interest to drive the value there. So, don't let your friends and family get lost in OpenSea. Bring them over.
Well, look at the performance too. I mean, look at the movie where we're the NFT producer, credited NFT producer, right? So, instead of the executive producer label, we have an NFT producer for the club, which is awesome. So
Well,
that's
and to explain like what that means, part of that deal, and I know people in crypto want to hear about influencers and that sort of thing. But I mean, a big reason behind, not the only reason, but a big reason behind some of the stuff that we're doing in entertainment is that those people are influencers by design, right? I mean, you look at Jeremy Piven or some of these other people's um, uh, Twitter or social, I mean, there's big followings there that can be brought to bear, if as a club we all, do the right things. So.
Oh yeah, and we're talking about movies that are right now. This isn't like a B movie. This is the same producers here did Don't Look Up. With what's that guy's name from the Titanic?
Literally everybody's in that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I think every A-lister's movie.
Yeah,
Which
so
is the most popular
yeah.
movie. So I mean, no.
So my point is, like, this is not like we're not
Yeah.
doing deals with the with just anybody who will do, like, this is an opportunity for all of us. And so we're not just promoting artists who are doing NFTs, we're promoting artists who are doing movies. And we funded part of their post-production. That's the deal we did. That's how we have that. So
And that
the
came from
upside, that came from a club member who gets a fee. A nice fee. And an upside on top of it, for how well everything goes with the movie. So, just really cool stuff and really cool opportunities. I guess the whole point here of that little rant, as my son would say, is just don't be shy about reaching out to us, because we want to hear about it. And don't be shy about reaching out, on the negative side either. Hey, there's an issue here, or we fix this, we should, or whatever. So we're all ears. It's our club for real. It's not just, that's not just hyperbole. So anyway, anything else, Bo?
that is all I'm seeing on questions. So unless anybody wants to jump in here at the last second, I think we're going to call it a night.
Awesome. So go out there, sell AWRT, give people that link and the affiliate side of things. Get the 10% of anything that those people buy in our club, and at the same time, you'll get yourself in a position to potentially win that trillion Satama, which we want to give away. So we're going to give it to somebody. I don't want to give it to somebody who who just buys it for themselves, but that's another way to do it. Like, if you're looking at making a big purchase of AWRT because you want to be on that founders level, NFT badge, you can go in there and just buy yourself, a huge block and get the 10% discount for yourself. Get that 10% affiliate, payout for yourself.
It would be an interesting way to dollar cost average if you
Yeah.
got it that way. You could average across two positions.
Yeah, it's cheating, but okay. But whoever wins. That's how it's. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, and we look forward to hearing from you. And we'll talk to you soon. And there'll be a whole lot more giveaways here to follow, including with Satama. So. Stay tuned.